But Jeff and Keli and I are gonna, of course, and Abbie are gonna keep our audio and our video on, and we're asking everybody to turn your audio and your video off so we can have good bandwidth. But one of the questions that came up, or comments I should say, from Michelle is 24 Hour Fitness laid off 50% of their staff, she says, and Crunch is freezing memberships during the lockdown. And I think that gets into, there's a lot of us who are managers on this call. There are a lot of us that are owners on this call, and how do we accommodate this and how do we deal with this? SCW honestly had to cancel California Mania, and we're very concerned and watching very closely for Florida Mania. And we made the decision that we're giving full refunds for those individuals that want it, because it's the right thing to do. We're starting to issue them tomorrow, and we were very, I have to tell you, my heart was warmed that 25% of the people that were registered just said, give me a credit, give me a transfer. I'm going to go next year, or I'm going to try to go to Atlanta, or I want to do some online streaming. So as a club owner, I love, Jeff, that you're doing the streaming workouts. I feel like I'm on the Brady Bunch, like I'm pointing up to different people. All right, that's not very mature, but but it's we've got to realize that this too shall pass. Okay, this too shall pass. We're not going to have to live and die in a garage setting running Zoom, you know, with our cats climbing all over us. We are going to get past this, and we have to think about what does the future hold. But I do think that you guys, everybody out there, I think Keli, Abbie, Jeff, and I are thinking about this constantly. What are we going to do when the new normal arrives? How are we going to deal with this? And that's something we're going to really try to focus on. Abbie, what are your thoughts? You're the queen of Instagram with those abs and that amazing butt of yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you. Yeah, I don't, I hear my husband in the background. Shh. He's right. You're right. My husband says you're right, Sarah. I mean, there's a new normal right now. I don't know what that looks like in a month from now, or if it's going to be 2 months. I think we're all just waiting. I mean, everything's on hold right now. And I know it's just so tense. We're all on hold, just waiting to see if this is going to be 4 weeks or 8 weeks. Hopefully it's 4 weeks with another 2 to 3 to go. I'm hoping things go back to normal, but I think it's going to take a little bit of time, because if it's just, I'm thinking about the economy and what the economy looks like, and what that's going to look like, and how that trickles down to all of the fitness professionals. Because it comes down to us at the end. People have to have income to pay for, you know, the extras, which I think we're necessity, but it's also an extra for most people. So anyway.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And we have to think about that, because we're in a leisure business, and we're the first thing people cut out.
Yeah.
But I think we do live in a different time. This is not the 1980s, okay? We live in a new time where we are focusing on health and wellness. Mm-hmm. So we have to hope that this works out. Also, I truly believe that the government is going to jump in and is helping with a lot of business loans. And I'm going to encourage all of you to stay aware of that, because if you think about it, this pandemic is causing so many businesses to go out. It's causing so much unemployment that if people start going and trying to secure unemployment, the government's going to fold. So they're going to create stimulus packages so that businesses can get loans and we can make it through this time. And we have to think about how we are going to adjust differently. And I don't think it's such a bad thing that we're all being forced to really utilize the internet and the Wi-Fi offerings that are out there. Like, I'm reading about this, you know, Zoom and going on, and people are, Joni Jones, I like this. I have been checking in with my clients, letting them know how much I miss them and letting them know what I'm doing personally to keep in shape. I've been giving them ideas to keep them active each day and stressing to keep things simple. And that's beautiful, Joni. That's lovely. And that's, I think, what we're all doing. I just also got a message from Maria. I feel like I'm not old, am I? I'll just lean right in and read things. But Maria Rodriguez, and she writes, "Is this another session?" And you know what we did, Maria, is we were on early, and so we all started chatting and answering some questions and just talking to each other. So I'm going to officially open the Zoom meeting. I am going to send out my heartfelt thanks to Keli Roberts, to Abbie Appel, and to Jeff Howard. I cannot thank them enough for continuing to, with their loyal dedication to SCW, why they continue to do it. I'm still in awe and very much appreciative of that. I've got my staff on. I've got Sean Sennigan, our creative director, and Peter Shannon, who's one of our operations assistants. They are helping to run the Zoom webinar because I'm all I care about is how does my hair look and are these earrings too much? So they're really helping to run this. And I am absolutely thrilled to tell you that we have, how many is it now, Sean? You can even send it into the chat box, but I think it's 950 people have registered, which is crazy. And we're hoping that at least half of you guys show up, because that's typically what happens with webinars. So the first question that we want addressed, and I'm going to address our lovely, I don't know, what do I call you, panelists, guests, esteemed colleagues. What has been your personal approach to dealing with the coronavirus and the social distancing? So Keli, do you mind kicking this off for us and sharing your vision on this?
Okay. Well, first of all, I had to get up to speed technologically. That was a very fast and frightening learning curve because I've never been super sharp with tech. And so trying to get myself up to speed so I could understand how to work all of the different meetings and was pretty challenging. With my personal training, it was a little bit simpler because I dropped off equipment to my clients' houses so that they would have the same equipment as me. And then I've been training them through FaceTime because most of them are elderly and not very tech savvy. And because I'm training them one at a time, I don't need Zoom. I'm fortunate in that one of the gyms I'm working for is, that I used to work for, they've laid off their whole staff, but they have put together a whole schedule of classes, and I'm teaching 3 classes a week on Zoom for them. I had about 40 people in my class this morning, and a lot of my regulars. Actually, I felt really emotional afterwards. I was just on the verge of tears because it just felt so good to see them again and connect, even if it was just through a computer screen. Because I think that's one of the things I am missing the most, is that normal day-to-day contact with the people who I've been teaching for so many years. So first of all, I had to get up to speed with technology and then try and find creative ways to connect with my clients and the people who take my classes.
And Keli, I'm seeing some of the questions out here. How did you do it? Did your gym send out instructions on how to do it? And what I do want to encourage everybody who's on this call, if you need directions on how to approach Zoom or how to approach Facebook Live, what SCW is going to do is in our next newsletter, we're going to publish this. So we're going to try to come out with our newsletter. It should come out April 1st, but I'm going to talk to my staff and see if we can get it out in the next couple, and then tomorrow, to be honest with you. Try to get it out and provide instructions for people how you can get on Zoom. But in the meantime, you guys, there are wonderful videos online. You just Google them and they will teach you how to do it. Abbie?
No, YouTube has a lot of tutorials.
Yes.
So check out YouTube, plug, whatever you need and whatever you're looking for, whether it's how to post videos, pictures, whatever it is on Facebook or Instagram or any of those, and how to connect them all. That makes your life so much easier if you're not posting at one site and then posting to another site. You can combine all those and it will show you how to do it on YouTube. Really simple. So.
And would you do us a favor? Do you have a special link that you've enjoyed on YouTube that you found to be useful?
I don't right now. No, I mean, it's so many, it's a combination of it. I've been doing it for a couple of years now. So I can find something for you though. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. We'll make sure to connect with Abbie after this. And also I know our creative team, especially Peter is the king of, can help us find something on YouTube to send to you. Abbie, what's been your personal approach? I mean, how have you handled not killing Charlie? Okay, that's Abbie's husband. I'm sorry,
Poor Charlie. The love of my life, he just said.
Okay.
I'm a creature.
The social distancing and the coronavirus, how have you dealt with it?
Well, it's great because I'm an introvert. That does work really well for introverts, just so you all know this. Those of you who are introverts know exactly what I'm talking about. You're like, no hugs. No, but for me, I'm a creature of habit. I like things just the way they are. And when they change, it kind of freaks me out a little bit. So I try to keep, my habits, my routine the same every day. I think that's really helpful for a lot of people. I mean, getting up at a certain time, going to bed at a certain time, making sure that you have a schedule every day, that you know what you're going to do and that you're not just going to sit around and watch the news all day, which can be overwhelming. I mean, watching the news and seeing those coronavirus numbers climb can overwhelm you and make you a little bit stressed. So having that routine and knowing what I'm going to do at 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock every day.
That's excellent. And Jeff, please share your wisdom and what is that painting behind you?
It comes back. Okay, so if any of you know this, my partner is an interior designer, so my house looks like this in every room. It's a bit much personally because it's not really my thing. But for me, I think it all comes down to basics. It comes down to eating right, sleep, managing the stress level. For me, I'm approaching it like this is a great, for everybody in the pool is take this time. We can now, there's no excuses why not to exercise. That was the #1 excuse members would give to us. And now they don't have that excuse. So they could actually take this time and maybe achieve what they want to achieve. And that's kind of the way I've been going about it. I, like Keli, had to get up to speed very quickly. And I, on my own, did a Facebook Live video or did a live stream on Sunday in my parking garage outside. And I had over 3,000 people watching it. But this is where we mess up. They don't realize we're not getting paid anymore from our clubs. And so it's okay to ask for a donation of a PayPal me, or there's different ways to do that in a nice way because they love us, guys. All of our tribes love us. And then some of you are asking, did your club arrange it? Your club doesn't have to arrange it. You can do it on your own. Your tribe will follow you. And they're waiting to hear from you actually as their leader. And like Keli and Abbie both have said, it's getting back to just the normality of what we do is the key. Did that answer it?
Yes, I thought that was great. For me, I'm trying to finish project that I haven't gotten to. And I'm kind of like Abbie that I work out of my home. You guys, this is my office. This is my office, like all the pictures of the kids in the background and stuff like that. So I'm actually kind of in my normal. The only thing that's kind of unique for me is that when I take my dog out for a walk, when I have my conference calls, oh, there he goes. He's in here right now. Thank you, Buster. And when I take him out for, when I do my walks, I'm now seeing all these people around. But I had some of the same struggles that Keli had in getting used to doing Zoom. And I'm telling you, you guys, you can do this. And I got Judy Smolin actually says, walking outside and working out at home helps. It helps you sustain that. And you can still talk to your neighbor over a fence. That is a great way to stay connected to people. But for me, I love what Abbie said, that she says, set a schedule. You don't want to be getting up in the middle of the night and, you know, cleaning out closets unless you're coming to my house and doing it at my house. But you want to keep to a schedule. When do you go to bed? When do you wake up? You want to upskill yourself like Keli did and work with the clubs. And you want to, like Jeff, what Jeff just said, making sure, ask for donations. There's no indignity with putting food on your table, with sending your kids to college, with making a living and buying paintings, okay? That's, you know, it's okay. We do this for a living. So how do you guys, Abbie, I know you're an introvert, but how do you deal also with the social distancing?
I mean, I stay in contact with, you know, my friends, my family, just by phone. And, you know, I still see people. I live in a condo. So there's only so much social, you know, it's like living in New York. And it's, by the way, it's Boca Raton, Florida. So everybody here is from New York. So when we say 6 feet away, and that means 3 feet away. I mean, that's just the way it is. So we're just kind of turning our head and talking in another direction. You know, you have to pretend that you have it. But, you know, we see people in the hallway. We say hi to them. We talk to them at the pool. But it's just, I want to make sure that I stay in contact with people that I'm close to, just to make sure that they're okay too. My extrovert friends.
That's good. That's good. And Keli, what do you think?
It's kind of hard for me because I'm actually quite introverted too. And so that's okay. You know, I get a lot of my energy from being by myself, but I feel really blessed because I'm in a wonderful relationship and I'm not by myself. So I think if I was running solo in this time, if I didn't have a partner, I think it would be incredibly hard because I think I would feel really isolated and alone. And I'm not having to do this by myself. So that's just, I feel so blessed by that.
To be able to do that.
Yeah.
And Jeff, with social distancing, what might you recommend to people who are kind of, unfortunately, alone out there?
Well, this is the deal. I'm definitely not an introvert. I'm an extrovert. Let's be clear. So I don't know who else is in there, but I'm not that. I suggest you guys FaceTime. There's FaceTime. You can talk to people. I've seen people set up. You could put 4 or 5 people on FaceTime. I did an Instagram with Manuel where we talked via Instagram in front of a group of people. There are wonderful sites that if you email me or text me, I can get you that have dance parties, they're doing these dance parties now where everybody just kind of gets in there and you dance all at the same time. And it's just a cool thing. What about you, Sara? What are you doing with it? How are you handling it?
I have so many people living at my house right now that I'm pretty happy. I have my kids. All my kids are coming home, which is really nice because they're worried and they are very, very much isolated. So they're trying to at least, like they said, stay in contact with people. I'm doing the projects. I was talking to you earlier today, and actually I was talking to Tricia Silverman yesterday, who people may know. She's written a wonderful book on nutrition, and she's going to be on our panel on Friday. So all of you notice we're going to do the same time Friday, because we're going to do Faculty Friday, talking about mental faculties and how we do this. But I'm writing a book, and I'm going to finish my book. So this is forced time to finish the book and not watch Netflix. Although I highly recommend The Office and 30 Rock, which I totally missed because it was hockey season and I missed them when the kids were growing up. I did have what I think a very important question. Somebody asked you, Jeff, how did you get 3,000 people? Like,
Um,
I know you've got this following, okay? And Abbie, I know you've got this following. Keli, I'm sure you do. I don't think anybody follows me. But how did you get 3,000 people?
Great question. The members started saying while I was doing it, you see the feed that's going along right now? They were saying, share it, share it, share it. So everybody started sharing it on their pages. And so it kind of blew up from that. And people are asking a lot of questions, Sarah, right now about insurance and waivers and about music licensing. And I just know that I've been using music from music. I use Yes Music. I normally use instrumental music that has a beat to it, that our companies that are designing music for us have, and there's no words. And I've been using that normally. But I'll be honest with you, on Sunday, I used Yes Go, and it had words on it. And I think Facebook's being a little bit lenient with it right now, but I do be aware of it because when they reposted it, I got muted a lot. Regarding waivers and all that, Sarah, I think you could answer that better about insurance and waivers. I know I have personal insurance for when I train people.
Yeah, I highly recommend personal insurance. And to be honest with you, we'll do an article on that because we have I actually have a conference call with an insurance company tomorrow about that. But it's the blowing up that people like. It's interesting. Like, Abbie is an introvert, but Abbie is so out there on Instagram and Facebook. Okay, like Abbie, you are. No, she's not. Well, yes, she does, but she's usually wearing a bra top. But she's out there. Yet I get very shy and don't want to post and don't want to react, and it's really weird. I'm weird.
Generation.
Generation. I hate you.
It is generation. It is. I'm the same way. We're the same way. No, it's our generation. We don't want to post anything. We don't want to brag about anything online.
Yeah, but it's that interaction. If you're going to do a class, you guys, all of you listening, if you're going to do a class, you need to make sure that you post about it and you repost about it and you respond to people.
Yes.
And all you got to do is put a little heart or put a little smiley face or I'll see you then or whatever. And I got a text on my cell phone just recently from Kristen because she's doing yoga class again tonight. I'm going to be on. You know, I'm taking class. So you can't even see. I'm wearing my yoga stuff right under here. But you've got to stay connected with these people. And if you haven't before, they will seek you out. And if you've got a few friends that you have on Facebook, on Instagram, make sure you try to tag those people. And if you don't know how to tag, find a millennial that can help you tag. And you can FaceTime them and they can talk you through it very slowly because goodness knows everybody's got a lot of time now. So that might really help people. Okay. Somebody said, I use West Bend Insurance, but coverage went up 40% this year without extra online coverage. I'm also going to tell you guys, you know, it's somebody's choice whether or not they want to follow your exercise program. And I'm not quite sure how insurance companies or if people can sue you from getting injured from your program that you're teaching free on Facebook. Okay, I'm not quite sure, but I think that does need to be reviewed. But what I would recommend that you do, is actually say a disclaimer before you exercise, you know, and that's another thing. I hope if Sean Senigan and Peter, if you're listening to everything I'm promising, you got to help me get this stuff out. But we have a waiver that we use at SCW. Now, the difference is I can give you a waiver from quote unquote Illinois, even though I don't practice law in Illinois, but are you going to use it? I'm seeing people from Texas, from Connecticut, I'm seeing Massachusetts, from all over. Will that work in those various states? We'll give you a generic. We'll give you a generic waiver that at least a disclaimer you can say at the beginning of your workout and just try to get used to saying that all the time. And as far as legalities in music, Jeff is absolutely right. Facebook, they're being very lenient with what we're posting, but it's the reposting that tends to get slammed.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. We're going to start on our second question up here today. What have you done to retain your personal health? So we're instructors, we're personal trainers, we're givers, give, okay? But we're really out there to help others. But like Keli, what are you doing to help maintain your personal physical and mental health during this time?
I've been riding my bike. I've been going for bike rides outside, and that really helps. Although a lot of the trails, the off-road trails, closed yesterday in Los Angeles because people were congregating, and so they closed the trails, which was kind of heartbreaking to me. But I've been riding, and that is kind of like a moving meditation for me. It keeps me sane, and I get some fresh air. In fact, I rode today. And so it really helps me to do something outside. It's been a double whammy here in LA because we've had so much rain. It's just been nonstop raining. So every break in the weather that that we've had, I get outside and just ride my bike. My bikes, road, mountain, anything that pedals makes me happy. And I also meditate.
Do you do it at a set time period? Like again, Abbie talked about maintaining that schedule. Do you do it at a set time, or do you, like you just said, you wait for a break in the weather?
I've been waiting for a break in the weather. I've had to be much more spontaneous than having a regular schedule. But I'm scheduling it in around my clients. You know, my clients, most of my clients have a regular schedule now. It's a different schedule, but they've got a regular schedule with me. And so I'm scheduling my own time around my clients and my class schedule, my new class schedule. It's a completely new normal. And, you know, I'm trying to still get to bed early and wake up at a reasonably early time. But normally during the week, I get up at between 4 and 4:30 in the morning. And I'm not doing that. I'm getting up at 6 and going to bed at like 9, which is
so
like
lazy.
sleeping. It's great.
Shame on you. And Jeff, what about you? What are you doing for your personal health?
Great question. For me, it's funny. I teach so many classes. What I'm finding is when I do live stream, I have to do the whole workout, which is killing me. I'll be honest with you. But most of us in the field, as you know, when we teach so many classes, the last thing we want to do is actually train our own selves. So I'm actually taking this time in training me at a pace that I want to train at. And so I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to get up and eating better, not drinking as much, because I think that sometimes, you know, Emmanuel and I made a commitment today not to drink anymore from this point on, because it's something we shouldn't do. But I think it's just basically taking care of ourselves, and I really feel this is like a recalibration. Like we're being able to recalibrate our own bodies and our own lives. And I'm kind of I tend to look at things very positively. So for me, I'm like, this is maybe what we need to do a little bit. Not financially, I'm not happy about that. But I'm just basically taking care of me in a way that I haven't done in a very long time.
And Abbie?
Well, I mean, I try to eat well all the time. I have a tendency of, I think all of us do, to eat like out of boredom. I eat at night. I eat a lot. I mean, I eat at night. My boredom eating starts at night. So I try to find little snacks that I know will kind of quell that hunger. But with regards to working out, a lot of us, I know we want to maintain those 60-minute workouts and the 90-minute workouts. And instead of that, what I do is I try to break it up. I'll do 15 minutes just of some kind of movement in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon, and maybe 15 minutes a little bit later. And I'm happy with that. So it's a matter of kind of maintaining the fitness level that I have and also maintaining my mental health. This is not going to go on forever, as we mentioned this earlier. It won't last forever, and there's going to be time to make those gains later on.
Yes, absolutely. For me, I go on multiple walks a day, and I have to agree with Kelly that I find a break in the weather. My heart does not, I don't care about you, Kelly, with the rain. We had snow in Chicago yesterday. Stop laughing. I dislike you terribly. But but when there's a break in the weather and I can get outside and get some sunshine, thank you very much, Chicago, Illinois. But if I can get some sunshine, they say that also assists and helps your mood.
Yeah.
And so I've been really trying to do that. And that does help me. And it helps the dog. The dog is soon going to be crippled because everybody's taking him out for a walk. Somebody mentioned that they use their home reformer. Kelly has a rowing machine and a bike. What else? You have tubes, you have bands, you have hand weights.
I've got gliding discs, bendables, tubes, figure eight tubing, 3 sets of dumbbells, a water rower, an indoor cycling bike, and then I've got about 6 outdoor bikes.
Oh my God.
I have a yoga mat. Okay, next question.
I have a yoga mat.
Let's see how we're doing. Where do you think our industry is headed after this coronavirus scare subsides? Where do you think our industry is headed? And that's like before we officially started the webinar, we were chatting a bit, and I mentioned the new normal. What's going to happen after we're allowed to socialize? Kelly, you look like you're chomping at the bit here. Yeah, Kelly.
I think people are going to be washing their hands a lot more than they used to. No, I think there's going to be a lot more online work. I think there's a lot more online opportunity now and there will be moving forward. I think a lot more people are going to look for education online and look for opportunities to work remotely. That because we're going to be up to speed technologically, we're going to find that people are going to actually really enjoy doing that. Although I don't think we'll ever lose our people will never lose the desire to connect face to face. I don't think that's ever going to go away. You know, a lot of people have been saying, you know, with Peloton and all of these big online platforms that, you know, people are not going to go to class anymore. But I didn't see any changes in my class when that started. And some of the people who take my class regularly do have Peloton bikes and treadmills and such. And so they still come to class because they love that social interaction that you get with group exercise. And for personal training, I think, you know, there's a very special relationship that you develop with your client, that you have that rapport with them, that the technology won't ever replace. However, I think with education opportunities, people are going to start to look for more of that online.
Abbie, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think people are going to be a lot more grateful when they come back to the club. They're going to be so much happier with us, with the facility. I mean, just some of the, small things like the little complaints that, you know, they complain about so many things. They're going to be so much happier. That's one. I think people are actually going to eat home more. Wow, I have some, you can look behind me. How often do I use that? Like a lot more now than I used to use it. So I think people will stay home and eat a little bit more, maybe connect a little bit more. I agree with Kelly. People they love that face-to-face interaction. But I think we've all improved our skills online, technology or technologically wise. And I think this will complement the relationship you have with your clients. So there might be ability, a greater ability now to create, you know, when your client goes out of town or your client's not there for the weekend, that you're able to create online material much easier and get that to them in an easier way.
Interesting. Jeff?
You know, it's interesting. I think that people are going to be more appreciative. A lot of people are asking about the more mature population. When are they coming back? And at my facility, 45% of my demographic is 65 years and older. And they were still wanting to play cards and do puzzles and all these things up to the day we closed. My mom and dad, of course, are doing church online and everything else right now. But I'm telling you this, I think that the more mature population have lived through World War II and stuff. Like they've seen a lot of stuff happen in their lives. And so for them, they're leery, but I think they're going to be the first ones to come back once the band is over, to be honest with you. I find that I think that the clubs will rebuild. I think people are missing their schedule. Like we all keep saying, keep a routine, keep a routine, keep a routine. The millennials, that's what they're missing, is that routine. They're creatures of habit. So I feel that we're in a good place, but as teachers, what we've learned as well is this, is we're, I think, are going to be rejuvenated. We're going to have more ideas. We are getting more educated. What I think is interesting is everybody that's on this live stream, a lot of us are educated in more than one modality, or we have educations that we've known with things. It's the people like the Orange Theories and the people that have a set curriculum. I don't know what they're doing right now, because all of us are able to teach without equipment or with our own body weights and all these things and stuff. So for me, I think it's gonna make everybody fine tune their education skills. I do think we're all gonna come up with going back to basics with even movements. So I think it's kind of an interesting place to be in.
Yes. I was just scribbling down a few thoughts. I saw somebody said they thought it was great that they could actually train their clients when their clients are on vacation, they could log in. And I thought that was very interesting, that maybe automatically every time you have a class being offered, you also have a streaming variation where people can do it at home or do it when they're out of town. And then they can continue to connect and they can maintain their membership, which economically helps the viability of the facility. My son, who tends to have sometimes a lot of medical issues. A lot of people know that he's had multiple back surgeries, he's had knee surgery, ankle surgery, just had shoulder surgery. He's going back to school, even though everything's online, but he still has to go back. He's got his books there, he's got his some of his stuff that he needs for his computer there. He's going back, but he's all excited that all the doctors are working online with him, which is fantastic. So he doesn't have to shift his medical care. And this is economically great for our physicians as well. And I personally think it's better for client care because there's a continuity of a physician taking care of them. One of the things I think that is going to happen, and we've had to think about this because of Florida mania, and we're concerned that all the health clubs in Florida are going to be closed until May 8th, and Florida Mania is supposed to be opening May 13th, and officially the 3-day conference on May 15th. So we only have a week for people to come to the conference. We don't know, is it going to open, is it going to close? But what we've done in anticipation is yoga mats, steps, equipment, bikes, all are going to be 6 feet apart. And will that permanently affect the way we design our gyms? And should we think about this? And we moved our activity sessions to larger rooms. So instead of only requiring a 3 feet distance between people, we're doing the 6 foot distance. So I wonder if that also is going to be something that's going to affect us permanently. And I'm reading from a few people are just going on and on about the face-to-face. Movies didn't die, after everything goes online. People still go out to the movie theater, but the movie theater had to change, didn't it? It had to become this incredible place where you can relax. I love those reclining chairs. Like if my husband and I go, we want to get one of those really big reclining chairs, but he just falls asleep anyway. So I don't know what that's about. But I think we have to think about how our facilities are permanently going to change. And I'm seeing, you know, someone said, what about water? Like, what are we going to do about aquatic exercise? You know, how can you virtually deal with our aquatic exercisers? And, you know, the bathtub ain't going to work. So we have to, the nice thing is it's a chlorinated, very antibacterial environment, even though chlorine is not exactly antibacterial, but it certainly helps. So, you know, that's something we do have to take into consideration. About personal training, Keli, I'm going back to you on this because you're our queen of personal training there. What are your thoughts on that?
Moving forward, after the virus with personal training, I think it's going to depend on the economy to a certain degree because, personal training is a luxury. It's not a necessity. People can exercise by themselves. So I think to survive in the post-apocalyptic economy, we're going to have to be providing a service that's above and beyond. A service, we have to be doing something for our clients that is beyond a good experience so that when they train with us, they really feel like it's worth it, because the economy is taking a huge hit right now, and that's going to influence everything that people do when we start coming back into a regular lifestyle. So, I mean, always in the past, I believe that experience drives participation, and our personal training sessions have to be really something just beyond getting them fit, but it has to be an amazing experience and a connection. But after we start going back to those one-on-one sessions, it has to be even more so because people are really going to be strained financially.
Right, absolutely. I did read in the feed here also, I can't remember who said it, but they were talking about Skype. My office, we have everybody in my office, we closed SCW Fitness, and everybody is working out of their home, but we've always used Skype. And that's our main source of interaction. We don't always use the video, but I would highly encourage you guys to use the video. It's very important. Now, I remember once I was on a conference call, and it was, I don't know if I can say this, like, I was working with a company that was international, I'll leave it at that. And so all of us were talking, the leaders of different branches were talking, and I heard rustling in the background. And I knew it was my friend. So I quickly texted her and I said, what are you doing? Because we're all on this international conference call. And she was trying on bathing suits. And I'm like, and I've never forgotten that. And I thought, I literally, when I'm on a call or I'm trying to focus on somebody, it's very hard for me to do it in front of a computer screen because I know I'm so old fashioned, but I have my calculator, I have my cell phone, you know, I have my portable computer here that's dinging away. You know, I get distracted. So I need to learn how to focus. So Skype is very good for small groups. We do our staff meeting and it's free. Skype is free. So I think it's also going to help us that we're going to be able to do, like, for the group fitness managers out there, and also for the instructors and the trainers and the owners out there, we can hold staff meetings, but put your cameras on. Put your cameras on. Yeah, definitely. Our next question, guys. What would be your personal and professional goals after this situation is lifted? Oh, I'm answering that. What are your personal and professional goals after this situation is lifted? Part of the reason we put this whole webinar together was, I'm going to tell you, these three amazing people are doing our online streaming certifications. And we started it with poor Jeff, who we dealt with microphone issues and everything. And that was way back in October. It feels like centuries that we dealt with that. But we started very early on. I'm a real big believer in failure. Okay, take that chance, make a mistake. If you're going to fail, it's going to happen. It's going to rustle. We were terrified of this webinar. Was the webinar going to crash? We have to get people to turn off their videos. You know what? You just got to dive in. You got to try these things, and you've got to be ready for success, and you got to be ready for failure. So Jeff is doing group exercise certification, which actually I think is kind of leading the pack here. And it's live streaming. He is going, you will see this picture again, okay? Maybe not that sweater, but you'll see the picture again. But he's going to do group exercise certification. He is even doing an aquatic certification that's live. We're doing it on deck. Like if you guys have ever been to New York City Mania that we used to have, we only had deck training. We had a lot of people coming to our aqua classes, practicing their deck teaching. And you're doing yoga, right?
Yeah.
Yoga. We might even ask Manuel to jump in on that as well. And which would be great. And Abbie is doing her bar certification, which is running a close second. And what'd you say?
Pilates is running a close second. Believe it or
Oh,
not,
Pilates is really kicking gluteals here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pilates and bar.
Yeah.
And you've filmed before.
I have, yeah. We've filmed the bar one before a couple of times, and I'm glad that Jeff was able to kind of lead the pack there and make all the mistakes. By the time they got to me, by the time everybody got to me, it was perfection. I show up an hour early, and everything's done in 5 minutes. So perfect. Thank you, Jeff.
And
no worries.
You're doing Pilates you're doing bar on Saturday and Pilates on Sunday?
Other way. Pilates on Saturday.
Pilates on Saturday, bar on Sunday.
Yep.
And Jeff, you're doing?
Friday yoga, Saturday group X, Sunday aquatics.
And we have Keli. When are you doing your personal training?
Friday. Personal training on Friday. And then next month I'm doing the active older adult.
Active aging. Absolutely. We're thrilled. If you don't know, Keli's got a she'll never admit this, I think, a very scientific bend on her approach to fitness. Do you think that's correct?
Yeah, I am. I'm a total nerd.
So for me, when everything's lifted, we're going to continue to do our streaming. It has not deteriorated our attendance at our live programs. People want live. People want to connect. Please, you people at home, do not worry about them not coming to classes if somehow the gym figures out how to stream things or you're taking donations on your personal class. We still are seeing the same attendances. And in some regards, it's lifting people up because they're not scared anymore to go in and participate because they've done it once at home and they feel more comfortable. Keli, what would you say after this situation has lifted? What might be a personal goal of yours?
I think personally, I'm going to continue to grow my online platform more than I have in the past and look to create, enhance my online presence. I've already got a pretty big online presence, but I totally hate posting on Facebook and Instagram. I hate it. And a couple of the companies I work with, I have to do it. And it's like a root canal. It does not come easy for me. So I have to get better at that because I can see the value in it now. And because I'm a lot better now and more up to speed with technology, I see there's more opportunity there. I can be more creative with it.
Very good. Abbie, what's your personal or professional aspirations after this?
I'm going to post more. Kidding.
Is that possible?
5 times a
There's
day
no
now.
way.
5 times a day. No, I also, believe it or not, I want to improve my skills with that online part. By now, how many followers I have, I mean, it's not that I'm trying to grow the followers. I'm just trying to improve my connection with the followers I already have, giving them more material. So I'm trying to find different ways and different avenues that will improve that connection and make it more beneficial for them. I mean, of course, I want it to be beneficial for me, but I'm trying to provide fitness professionals with a service, helping them improve their skills and give them more programming. So I'm trying to find different avenues to do this. And that might even mean a YouTube channel. That might even mean, and when my husband and I were talking about we were talking about earlier, all the different loans and the different incentives that the government's going to give us in the next, 2 to 6 months, and take advantage of that. Take advantage of it.
Right. And Jeff, what I would love you but Jeff, please, if you would, can you share how you're dealing with some of your personal training clients and how they send you pictures of food and you send little emojis in response? Because I think that's brilliant.
So what I do is when I do personal training, I try to get all the components. So they're not allowed to eat anything until they send it to me prior or before. And then I send back either a smiley face or a pig. Now the pig is never going to be a good thing they're getting, but it just keeps them on track and it makes them accountable. And so it really makes you a part of their lives, and it makes you a part of their social being. I could have a book about food because I have so many pictures on my phone of these beautiful dishes people have made. But I'm kind of with everybody else, guys. I think that we just need to look at where we're going and keep it going in a positive way and grow from it, guys. Grow. And you can either run from this or you got to embrace it. And we have no other choice but to embrace it.
Very well said. Very well said. And the last question, because we literally are 2 minutes over, so I'm going to ask just a quick summary here. What would be your advice to the fitness professionals sitting at home during this 2-week period? You get one sentence, Jeff.
I want you to do this, guys. I want you to ask for donations. Do a PayPal me. Get it. Do it. Put it on there. They want to help you. They don't realize we're not getting paid. And what else? You have clients that have companies. Say, listen, I will wear your logo while I'm working out on the stream, and I will only charge you $100 for this. They will do it, guys. They love us, but you have to ask. There's nothing wrong with asking. Some of you are having problems asking for money right now for personal training, live streaming. It's still your time, guys. And you're worth it. You're worth it. So ask for it. You have to ask. They don't realize we're not getting paid. They don't realize that we are, if it goes on till May, we're screwed, guys. No matter how much money's coming our way, we've got to ask for it.
Very good. Keli?
What he said.
I'm telling you, we are the Brady Bunch. Okay. All right. Abbie?
I think, organize your life. Organize. I mean, I all the things I've been putting off in the house, like my closet. I mean, my husband, he's sitting over there. Oh my God, my car, clean things out, get your life organized. You have a month to do this. Get everything organized. That's number one. And then number two, don't sit. I mean, get up and move. Move around the house. Get out. I know the weather, again, I know you guys in California, Chicago, Florida, it's nice every day. There's no rain. We just walk off. So anyway, but get out of the house when the weather permits. Get out of the house, move. Don't sit on the couch, and don't watch the news every single day.
And I think tell people you're poor, like Jeff said. Tell them you're poor. Get them to Venmo you, PayPal you, send you money somehow. What he said from Keli, don't watch the news. And I'm going to leave you with this. I want you all to tell us what you liked, what you didn't like, what you'd like to see more of. I will see you all on Friday. same bat time, same bat channel. I thank you all for joining us. Stay strong, guys. We're going to get through this.